Hey, thanks so much for grabbing the 30-day post planner. My name is Leonard with Indie Band Coach, and the planner is on its way to your inbox. You'll have instructions on how to download that and start putting that to use. But because you got the planner, I assume that you're also interested in not just having a following, but you're also wanting to see how you can get those fans to actually follow you into the clubs. We spend so much time practicing, working with musicians, booking. We're doing all of these things even before a gig to actually get to a gig and be set up and load in your equipment to only have this happen. Yeah. And unfortunately, that is something that my band and I were all too aware of when we first started out. I was the booking agent for the band, lead singer along with my wife in the band, so it was kind of our baby, and it was something that we took a lot of pride in. It's something we spent a lot of time on, and those nights when nobody would show, they were just heartbreaking. Obviously, we're gonna play the whole, hey, let's make it a paid practice, let's make it real positive, but you on the ride home, it's like, what am I doing? What am I doing? What am I doing? But I would try my best to come up with different creative ways to promote our band, try to get the word out about our band. So, okay, we're going to try this. I'm going to read some stuff. I'm going to learn some stuff. We're going to try this. And early on, our shows and our crowds were really sporadic. We'd have a pretty decent night one night, and then another night, it'd be crickets. And I don't like the sound of crickets, not when you're trying to pack a room and actually get paid. So one of the things that really changed our whole trajectory was one night we were playing at a club called the Moondog Tavern. We had a really good crowd. The energy was there, and I felt like people were closer to us, like it was more packed than usual. I remember getting done with the show, and one of our friends was coming up and talking to a couple of people in the band, and she just happened to casually mention, she's like, yeah, I'm really glad that I got in. I actually had to wait 30-45 minutes to actually get into the club. And I was doing some stuff. I'm like, what? And she's like, yeah, I had to wait. There was a line out the door. And I'm like, for us? And so I'm like, I'm sure it's a fluke. Let me just go check with the bar staff. Let's see if there was a problem or some issue. And they were like, no, man, we had a great night. People were waiting outside. We had a line before you guys started. And, okay, that's kind of cool. It's never happened before. Awesome. So then come up the next weekend, and we had another good night in terms of a crowd. And I checked with the bar owner just to see, hey, was there a line or anything? Everything. He's like, yeah, actually there was a little line starting out there right before you guys started. I'm like, cool, okay. So it kept happening over and over and over again, and I started thinking to myself, okay, I'm doing all these promotional things, like what's the thing that I'm doing that is really setting this apart? Like something's happening. Maybe it's not just luck, maybe it is something that we're doing. And when I finally stepped back and looked at it, I realized that the one thing that I was doing was actually a system. I'm going to do this before the show, I'm going to do this during, and I'm going to do this after. So literally I started with a system, and it became a pattern, and it became something that I could repeat, and I could recruit a couple of people to do some things because I had stuff written down, and it slowly but surely grew. And 6 months later, we had a streak at multiple clubs of basically being sold out, whether there was a cover or not. That's when I knew I had something that we could repeat, that we could work, that could work time after time, and that's also something that allowed us to start negotiating higher pay. We were an 8-piece band, okay? We ended up doing 120 shows a year, making $250,000 a year, but it took us a while to get there from there. And that's the system that I put in place, and that's what I wanted to introduce to you, because I don't want you to have a bunch of crickets when you can actually be, walking into a club with people that are waiting on you to get there. So just below here, I've put together something called the Smart Music Marketer Toolbox. Literally, it is the systematic approach to all of these creative ideas that I had. And it's basically a template that I put together. It's called the tic-tac-toe template, and you'll see why. But basically, it's taking all of the creativity, for all of you right brain creative folks out there, and putting it into a logical, systematic process for all you left brain folks out there. so that you can merge those two and literally come up with something that you can repeat, but that is going to be customized to your band. So, however it can help you do that in terms of making more money, booking more gigs, that's what I want to do. In fact, that's the whole mission of Indie Band Coach, is to help you reach more fans and book more gigs, okay? So, this is Leonard with Indie Band Coach. Click that button, go get it. No more of this and a bunch of that. You got it.